How's it going, everybody? I'm Lewis and we've got a new update from the Old School RuneScape team. This is the Architectural Alliance. This week they've got a big update for Great Krend, both visually and otherwise. New pathways and sceneries have been added all over Great Krend and a new mini-quest, Architectural Alliance. This will allow you to keep favour with the houses, and you don't have to lose it when you get favour with other houses. They've also got some reworking to the way that you claim your prayer books, and they've got some more quality of life content. So let's have a look by starting off with the Great Krend changes. The first of which is the Architectural Alliance. The city of Great Krend has been hit by a vicious storm. Once it passed, the citizens came to realise that the statue that once stood in the centre of Krend had been torn to pieces in the bad weather. An architect by the name of Hosa, found in the centre of Great Krend, is attempting to erect a new statue in place of the old one to commemorate the king. However, he cannot do it alone. He needs our help to gather architects from the 5 houses of Great Krend who can assist in finishing the statue. Head to the centre of Great Krend and talk to Hosa in order to begin the Architectural Alliance mini-quest. Throughout the mini-quest, you will be required to earn 100% favour in each house. Upon completion, you will have 100% favour for each house in Great Krend. You will be unable to lose favour, and you'll see a brand new statue of the king in the centre of the city. Next, the Krend pathways and scenery. Architects from each house in Great Krend have been working on a project to improve pathways around the city. As a whole, Great Krend is now prettier and easier to navigate, and additional scenery can be found throughout the entire city. Next, multiple prayer books. The prayer books received as a reward from Horror from the Deep quest are very popular pieces of equipment. Retrieving and unlocking these books got a whole lot more simple. Talking to Josic about prayer books will open a brand new interface from which you can retrieve completed prayer books and missing prayer books. You can also unlock new prayer books for a one-off fee of 5,000 coins. It's possible to get multiple copies of completed prayer books from Josic for no cost. However, you may only retrieve one copy of an incomplete prayer book. Next, the Vengeance cooldown change. Previously, there was no way to tell whether or not your Vengeance spells are still on cooldown from when they were last cast. They've now made it so the Vengeance spells are slightly greyed out when they're on a cooldown. So as we can see on this top image, that they're not on a cooldown, and on the lower image, they are on a cooldown. Next, the Varrock Museum Gate. The gate, found just outside the eastern entrance of Varrock, can now be used by players who have achieved 150 kudos in the Varrock Museum. And finally, in other news, we've got some quality of life updates and some bug fixes. Gates in the Stronghold of Security will no longer require questions to be answered if you've completed the Stronghold. A pet rock can now be dropped in place of another player when opening the Waterbirth dungeon doors. A new fairy ring has appeared just outside of the lighthouse. The options on the scrolls of redirection have been rearranged. Using the right click option to buy a pass from Shanty will now be quicker. It's now possible to set up box traps on tiles where flowers have been planted. It's now possible to set up box traps on tiles within hunter areas where fires have been lit. Setting up box traps and wilderness fishing are now interrupted by combat. The losing Castle Wars team will now receive 1 ticket for their efforts. Tournament worlds have now been removed. The 3rd birthday event has now been removed. The Well of Goodwill has now been removed. And World 349 is now a 2000 plus total level world. It's no longer possible to hop between Castle Wars games to claim tickets quickly. The Black Knight's jailer in Tavley Dungeon has had his talk to option removed as he had no dialogue. Anglerfish are now prone to the effects of ghasts. Pickpocketing Mavario will now complete the Lumbridge task regardless whether or not you already own the Pendant of Lucian or not. The HP skill guide has been corrected to state that lava eels heal 11 HP rather than 14. The Dark Mode special attack has been capped at 48 damage for each arrow. The task list section header for Varrock Elite tasks now turns green when they're complete. And they've removed some rogue push tiles near the Hosidius Finery. Finally, this week, they'll be releasing a new Lootshare developer blog soon, so we'll keep our eyes out for that. So this week is kind of interesting. We've got a new mini-quest in Great Krend, we've got some new updates to sort of scenery in Great Krend, and various other updates from recent content polls. The Architectural Alliance mini-quest sounds very interesting. Sounds like it's a little bit of fun, especially seeing as it's a way to get a much better statue than what was there before. However, I do kind of question why they've allowed us to get 100% of favour in each house, because that was a huge balancing thing they were working on when they first developed Great Krend. I'm a little bit disappointed with the way that they've got the multiple prayer book stuff working. I was under the impression that we'd just be able to buy whichever prayer book we want, and we could have multiple of them. But now it sounds like you can buy completed prayer books, which doesn't make any sense to me because the pages that you use to complete prayer books are something that you buy from other players. So if you're buying it from an NPC, it doesn't really add up properly. I'm sure I'm just misinterpreting that, or at least I hope I am. But when they polled this, they didn't mention anything about stuff like one-off fees of 5,000 coins to unlock these new prayer books. They just said, do we want to be able to have one of each prayer book, and do we want to have multiple of each prayer book? Which is what passed. If you want to discuss this update, please go on the forums or in my comments below. If you're interested in what's happening this month in Old School RuneScape, please click here for the month ahead post for March. And if you want to watch the latest Old School RuneScape poll, please click here for Monkey Madness 2. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep updated with the Old School RuneScape updates, dev blogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.